called the Paut Neteru, and it shows that that for every planet, including the Earth, there's a representation. Okay, so for example, the planet Earth itself, or the planet Earth, the plane, plane with the T, is kind of firm. That's what that T stands for. It's almost like a nail, or nailing it to solid, unmovable firmness. So this planet, and you see the T right there too. So this planet also represents our physical body, because we have all of those elements, all of the minerals in our body. And one of the things that we're charged to do according to the divine plan, or the plan of the cosmic consciousness, is to assemble with perfection all of these elements, so that we can rise up the tree and we can regain our memory. And that's what this womb is about. It's about the waters that hold memory. Okay? And what is that memory of? The memory of its unified state up here. And once it receives its unity here, it can also identify with its own original consciousness. Okay? So we're gonna see a lot of correspondences, because the Paut Neteru is the oldest cosmogony, or cosmology, that describes how life is involved, or how consciousness is involved into physicality and evolved right back to, or right up to, its original state. And it explains everything in between with quite accurate results. Okay, so we're going up from terra firma to actually rebuild the temple, or raise the Jed. Okay, that's what we talked about earlier in our episode 1, raising the Jed. So once we get our memory back here, then we're able to start recognizing the visible forms in the spectrum. We're actually able to see the sound, or intuit the sound frequencies, and merge those two in the building of our psychological consciousness. And in the merging of those two, we began to create the first chakra, second chakra, the third chakra. And this third chakra, when it's balanced, okay, when the two polarities are balanced, it gives rise to the solar activity in our heart chakra. Okay, and this heart chakra, okay, this is actually our solar plexus here, which gives rise to the heart. Okay, and this heart corresponds to the sun, or the solar activity that happened on the way, when consciousness was on the way in to physicality. This solar consciousness then has to be raised yet again, but in our psyche, that solar consciousness has to be aware that there is universal law and order, and then there are forces that must be respected. Okay, we can't just go into raising our consciousness without observing the order, because the further up we get, the more potent or powerful the forces of nature are, and they can become damaging if we're not respected of the law. So we have to take consideration of those two. We need to merge those two, and then activate our throat chakra. Okay, the activation of the throat chakra allows for us to be able to speak truth and to utilize words of power. Okay, But before we do, but before we start utilizing the awesome power of our divine nature, our highest nature, we need to be wise about how we use power, okay? Because these two can be, you know, if the feminine isn't in balance with the masculine, of course things can go wrong, and we see some of the things that have gone wrong to this very day. As long as we have wars and strife, you know, if we're forced to choose between the lesser of two evils, etc. This is as a result of the imbalance of wisdom and power, you know, and not merging these two. So this is a part of the great work, okay? The great work is putting all of these together on the central axis, not zigzagging, because when we zigzag, we see that, you know, the force, the momentum is slowed down, you know. So that's how we know that we need to balance these two, and we bring them forth. And as you can see on the physical anatomy, there will be the third eye. Okay, when we balance the third eye by bringing the two, the wisdom and the power together, then we give rise to unity consciousness. Okay, so we've walked it up all the way to the top, and of course we know that this third eye chakra allows us to see everything below. Okay, if thine eye be single, then thy whole body will be enlightened. This is scripture. You can look that up. Get on YouTube and look, or not YouTube, but Google, and find that scripture. If thine eye be single, your whole body will be enlightened. Okay, and that enlightenment gives rise to that omniscience, or that unity consciousness. And this is here where the crown chakra resides. Often it is seen with the purple and the white light. And this purple and white, this is the purity that was spoken of in episode 1. This is the purity that once it gets to its destination, it wants to merge and become one with the perfect black. It wants to be all consciousness right there. All right, so I think I've covered pretty much everything to clarify. And what we're going to do in episode 3, Raising of the Jedi, is we're going to look at the earth in we're going to look at the earth in the environment, the actual environment of the earth, the terra firma, and we're going to correspond it to the body to see what we need to do to move to the next level and get our memory back. Okay? So we're going to take it step by step. We're going to move up the tree, and this is called Raising the Jed. Okay? Raising the Jed. And I'll have plenty of imagery to kind of get everybody onto the same type of the psychological course that actually defines these things definitively. Okay, so we're on our way, and I think it's time now in the age of I know that we begin to know and act the knowledge. All right, looking forward to seeing everybody again. Please tune in. Episode 3, Raising of the Jedi. All right, take care.